It may not make sense to everybody, but heaven sees it as something beautiful. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Coffee with Connect. We get together on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30, and we get into God's Word together with our coffee. And my mug today is from the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company down in Florida, restaurant we went to with our kids, and my wife and I actually went to this restaurant on our honeymoon, funny enough, down in Florida. So from, obviously based on the movie Forrest Gump. So we're getting back into the Gospel of Mark today. As we've taken a break for the month of January and went through the book of First John, which was awesome to do as a church family, as well as to bring that into here. But we're going to go back to the Gospel of Mark as we were going through that and trying to finish going through that gospel together. And so we're beginning chapter 14 in the Gospel of Mark, and we're looking at verses 1 through 9 as we're approaching the Passion Week for Jesus. In fact, we're into it here. So we're going to pray, we're going to read, we're going to think, we're going to write, we're going to do. And so I hope you've prayed. And now let's read Mark chapter 14, verses 1 through 9. It says this: Now the Passover and the festival of unleavened bread were only 2 days away. And the chief priests and the teachers of the law were scheming to arrest Jesus secretly and kill him. But not during the festival, they said, or the people may riot. While he was in Bethany, reclining at the table in the home of Simon the leper, a woman came with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume made of pure nard. She broke the jar and poured the perfume on his head. Some of those present were saying indignantly to one another, "Why this waste of perfume? It could have been sold for more than a year's wages and the money given to the poor." And they rebuked her harshly. "Leave her alone," Jesus said. "Why are you bothering her? She's done a beautiful thing to me. The poor you will always have with you, and you can help them anytime you want, but you'll not always have me. She did what she could. She poured perfume on my body beforehand to prepare for my burial. Truly, I tell you, wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her." So let's think about this. This just extravagant love of Jesus right in the face of the cross, because the cross is only a few days away. And here in the beginning of this chapter, we see some tension. The chief priests, the teachers of the law, they're looking for a way to secretly kill Jesus. And he's in Bethany, hanging out at the home of Simon the leper. And a woman comes in with this jar of very expensive perfume that was just no casual gift here. This was worth more than a year's wages. And she breaks the jar and pours it on his head. And breaking the jar, important point here, because that means there was no saving it for later. There was none held back. She completely poured it out. And right away, the people that are there begin to criticize her, and they call it a waste. And this perfume could have been sold, and the money given to the poor, and sounding spiritual on the surface, right? Jesus sees deeper than this. He's like, "Leave her alone. Why are you bothering her? She's done a beautiful thing to me," he says, "a beautiful thing." See, he's measuring her act differently than they did, differently than we do. He measures it by love. He reminds them that the poor is going to always be with them, and that they can be helped anytime, but he would not always be physically present. That this was a unique moment, and that she recognized that. And then Jesus says something really interesting. He says, "She did what she could. She poured perfume on my body beforehand to prepare for my burial," it says. She probably didn't understand that, but what she did was prophetic. The religious leaders are plotting his death in this moment. The disciples are struggling to get a grip on what's coming. And this woman responds to Jesus with devotion that is aligned with the cross. She did what she could, he says. Powerful phrase, because she wasn't asked to do everything. She wasn't asked to solve every problem. She just simply gave what she had when she had the opportunity to do it. And Jesus promises that wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, that what she has done will be told in memory of her. And here we are, talking about it now. In this world that is obsessed with power, strategy, and position, and all the things, Jesus elevates sacrificial love. And it challenges us in a couple of ways here. It confronts our tendency to calculate our devotion, because we do. We calculate our devotion. We ask, like, what's the minimum that I have to do? We'll kind of ask that question. And she's asking, what's the most I can give? And then it also reminds us that worship is not a waste. That when you give your time to Jesus, when you serve, even quietly, when you surrender something valuable out of love for him, that it may not make sense to everybody, but heaven sees it as something beautiful. And the religious leaders, right, they see this opportunity to take Jesus' life. This woman sees an opportunity to honor it. And so the question is not whether Jesus is worthy, because we know he is. The question is whether we're going to respond with reserved devotion, calculated service to him and devotion to him and honor and worship to him, or extravagant, generous love. So what's God saying to you? What can you write down for yourself? What's maybe something else that stands out that I didn't mention? What can you put in the comments or in your own notes? What do we do here? I want to challenge you and myself, all of us. Let's intentionally give something costly to Jesus this week. Not out of obligation, but because we love him, because we want to honor him and we want to worship him. It might be your time. It might be something extremely generous. It might just be surrendering control of something that might be really hard for you. Maybe it's just stepping out in obedience. Don't calculate it. Just offer it. Jesus measures value by love. So let's be people who don't hold back. Let's not hold back the jar. Let's break it open in worship, giving him our very best while we still have the chance. So thanks for joining me, and I hope that you'll like the video and subscribe to the channel. Share this with someone that needs it. Join me again here next time so we can have our coffee and connect to Christ's community and purpose and God's word together. See ya.